Hi everyone, welcome back for the next installment of our series that we're doing, answering all of the questions that we have received from viewers like you. This week's viewer's question is a slightly big question, and the person asked not to have them have their name shared, so I'm not going to. But basically the question was, can you just share some experiences, whether good or bad, from when you first got started in investing? Now, I have given whole talks about this topic. I think we maybe, like many of you, and hopefully, or hopefully not like many of you, but when we first got started, had quite a lot of trouble. I'll just give you a couple of quick anecdotes. So the very first property that my partner and I bought was back in 2012. Now, we bought a very simple two-story, two-bedroom Victorian townhouse, or Victorian terrace, as they call it here in the UK, that needed some refurbishment, but we were just getting started, and so we decided to do the refurbishment ourselves. Now, I was still in business school full-time at this time. My husband was still working in his day job full-time, so we were trying to squeeze in weekends, after school, after work, doing all the refurbishment ourselves. And to complicate things even further, I was living in London. The property and my partner were in Reading, and so there was additional commuting going on back and forth. But long story short, this refurbishment just sucked the life out of us. We were stripping wallpaper until all hours of the night, living off of like Roosters, Peri Peri, and Mr. Cod, sleeping on camp beds on site. We did, it seems like literally weeks of stripping wallpaper, weeks of replastering, weeks of redecorating, of watering down paint and doing mist coats, and of having to fill cracks and doing all of this really tedious labor. It was not fun. But what the great thing that came out of it was, one, we realized we never want to do the refurbishment ourselves. Two, that our relationship is really strong and can withstand some pretty intense stresses. And three, that if we had hired professionals to do it, we could have gotten it done literally within weeks. I mean, I kid you not, it took us about 4 months of hell to get the property where we thought, where we wanted it to be, to get it rental ready into a nice condition. And if we had hired professional tradespeople to do it, it would have taken them 3 weeks. So I guess one tip is, as soon as you can afford it, start leveraging your time and use the experts, because it just will save you time, hassle, and probably money in the long run. But that was our very, very first property. And then the next two, unfortunately, we had some other really nasty surprises. In the second one, which we converted into or wanted to convert into an HMO, we had all kinds of problems with the builder, and then we couldn't turn it into an HMO. My favorite anecdote from that refurbishment is that the builder was so bad that when I went around to test the new plug sockets that he had put in, he hadn't actually wired them up. He just put those little boxes and mounted them, screwed them onto the skirting boards, but didn't actually add any wires. I mean, this was a cowboy to sort of rival all cowboys. And that was just on our second project. And then in our third project, we got slapped with some really annoying, again, refurbishment issues that were not obvious. The drains were basically 90% clogged with cement, and we had to basically put in new drains underneath the house, so dig down 1 meter deep and then go 1 meter underneath the house foundations to replace the blocked pipe work. Those are just a few anecdotes, and I could give you guys dozens more. And some of this is, just to share sort of the quote unquote dark side of investing and being in property. But the main thing I want to leave you with is that it actually doesn't matter. I mean, yes, the problems matter and you have to address them, but you shouldn't let the problems stop you, because if we had, then we wouldn't have grown our business to where it is now. We wouldn't have both been able to retire from our day jobs and work in our business full time. We wouldn't both be working on stuff that we love, and we would be living by somebody else's rules, and we would not be able to create the lifestyle that we want to create for ourselves and for our family. And so all of this to say is that the problems will come in any industry, in any environment, in any job. You will have problems, you will have challenges, you will have things that go wrong, and probably a lot more times than you might like. Hopefully not. Hopefully your experience will be a lot better than ours. But the thing is that the problems just come with the territory. As the saying goes, if it were easy, everybody would be doing it. And everybody is not doing it, and you are not everybody. So regardless of the challenges, just keep working at your goals, keep working at whatever vision you have for yourself, because it's the people who try to, who keep going in the face of challenges, as we all know, that actually end up succeeding. Nothing worth having comes easy. There are so many sayings, about this, but basically just work hard, work smart towards your goals, and don't give up. You will get to wherever you want to go. It's just a question of doing the right thing and about being persistent and being consistent. And then just not giving up. So I will leave you with that. Hopefully it's sort of shown you that those of you who have had some challenges and troubles along the way, you're not alone. I felt uniquely cursed at the time when we kept getting hit with thing after thing after thing, but it just comes with the territory. So don't give up. Keep going, keep building your dream, and it is worth it. You just have to persist. So that's the answer to this week's viewer's question, all about just sharing some of the things that happened, good or bad, in our property investing in the early days. And I hope that helps some of you. Talk to you next week. Bye.